Hey, Shalom. All praise, honor, glory to Yahweh Bashim Yahushai. Noble honor to the apostle, knows great millstone. Peace and blessing to you, Akim. Pushing his truth throughout the four winds. Okay, it's no need to look. It's nothing after this truth. Okay? It's nothing that's coming after this truth. If you just look at the process of time throughout time, something always came in a form of religion or some kind of study to where people actually really sought after. You know, it was always sought after. People found pleasure in things. After something was created, something superseded that. Something always superseded something to where men would say that this was good, but this is better. We're never going, it's nothing that's coming after this truth. Okay? Because this is the end. Okay? This is the end of this story. All right? This is Ezekiel 37:3. It says, "And he said unto me, Son of man, can these bones live? And I answered, O Lord, power, thou knowest. Again he said unto me, prophesy unto these bones." Are we not prophesying right now? Is it not bodies being raised up from the dead right now as we prophesy? It says, "And say unto them, O ye dry bones, hear the word of Yahweh Bashim Yahushai. Thus said the Lord power unto these bones, behold, I will cause breath to enter into you, and ye shall live." Is that not what's taking place right now? It says, "And I will lay sinews upon you, and you will bring up flesh upon you, and cover you with skin, and put breath in you." Okay? It says, "And ye shall live, and ye shall know that I am Yahweh Bashim Yahushai." And that's exactly what's going on right now. Dry bones are beginning to come to life. A lot of them are already walking. So I prophesied as I was commanded. That's what we're commanded to do, to prophesy. And as I prophesied, there was a noise, and behold, a shaking, and the bones came together, bone to his bone. Now, I just thought about something. I know it's a verse in Matthew. I want to say, let me go to it. I think, if I'm not mistaken, let me see. Salakia, man. Let me try see if I can find this scripture. Yeah, this is it. It's Matthew 27 and 52. Well, I'll tell you what. I'm gonna start at 50. This is Matthew 27 and 50. It says, "Yahushua, when he had cried again with a loud voice, yielded up the ghost." Okay, now I'm gonna pay close attention to let me see, what verse is it? Sinews, breath, live, prophesy, commanded. Okay, verse 7. It says, "So I prophesied as I was commanded, and as I prophesied, there was a noise, and behold, a shaking, and the bones came together, bone to his bone." Now, this is Matthew 27. I'm starting at 50. "Yahushua, when he had cried again with a loud voice, yielded up the ghost." Now I'm gonna jump to 52. "And the graves," keep in mind we're talking about dead bodies spiritually, "and the graves were opened, and many bodies of the saints which slept arose." Matter of fact, I'm gonna go back to verse 51, because when you look at 7, it says, behold, a shaking. 51. Matthew 27:51. And behold, the veil of the temple was rent and twain from the top to the bottom, and the earth did quake, and the rocks rent. So this is what's happening right here in verse 7. Yahushua died, and that was the beginning of the Great Awakening. Okay? The Great Awakening, which is carried on to right now, to today. Okay? It says, and when I beheld, the sinews and the flesh came up upon them, and the skin covered them above, but there was no breath in them. Okay? So it's like real talk. It's some people who know they're Israelites, but you got to have truth and you have to have the spirit. Okay? You have to have both of these things. Otherwise, the truth is you're not going to get it all. Okay? Then he said unto me, prophesy unto the wind. Prophesy, son of man, and say to the wind, thus saith the Lord power, come from the four winds, O breath, and breathe upon these slain, that they may live. See, this is super spiritual. So I prophesied as he commanded me, and the breath came unto them, and they lived and stood upon their feet, an exceeding great army. Then he said unto me, son of man, these bones are the whole house of Israel. Behold, they say, our bones are dried, and our hope is lost. We are cut off for our parts. Okay? So, we understand that this is a thing that will take place, and it's been taking place since Yahushua died and was resurrected. Because we were dead, and he resurrected us. So it was a great chain of command. So, this is how we know it's nothing after the truth. All these things happen. Okay, this is 1 Corinthians 4:9. For I think that the Most High has set forth us, the apostles last, as it were appointed to death. For we are made a spectacle unto the world, and to angels, and to men. Okay, so what we have now is that great awakening. And it would happen last. So it's nothing coming after this truth. You can hang it up if you think it is. Nothing. This is the end. All right? This is Mark 16 and 15. And he said unto them, go ye into all the world and preach the gospel to every creature. Okay? Why would this happen? And you have Christians that don't understand this. Because when you're preaching it to every creature, it's a reason why that's being done. You'll have people calling themselves evangelists in the world today, and missionaries, and they'll go throughout the four corners and try to spread the bullshit what they're calling gospel. That's not the gospel. Okay? Revelation 7:3, saying, hurt not the earth, neither sea, nor the trees, till we have sealed the servants of the Most High in their foreheads. So it's going to be men that's going to have that they're marking their foreheads, and they have to be sealed before anything. Okay, but let's go into who they are. Let's see what would have happened to them. Why it would tell you to go throughout into the entire world. Okay, because the world is broad. Why would it say go out into the entire world? This is why a precept must be upon precepts. Okay, this is Deuteronomy 28:64. And the Lord shall scatter thee among all people from one end of the earth even to the other, and there thou shalt serve other gods, which neither thou nor thy fathers have known, even wood and stone. That's why, because the Israelites will be scattered among all people. Let's further prove that. Isaiah 11:12. And he shall set up an ensign for the nations. Who is the ensign? We are the ensign. Through Yahushua. Okay? It says, and shall assemble the outcasts of Israel and gather together the dispersed of Judah from the four corners of the earth. Why? Because that's where they were scattered. It's simple. All right. Ezekiel 36:24. For I will take you from among the heathen and gather you out of all countries and will bring you into your own land. Who is this speaking to? Scattered Israelites. What did they become? Gentiles. Because when they got in those lands, they took on the customs of those people where they were scattered. That's what made them Gentiles. Okay? Simple. Matthew 24:31. And he shall send his angels with a great sound of a trumpet, and they shall gather together his elect from the four winds, from one end of the heaven to the other. Why? Because those Israelites scattered amongst the four winds. I mean, this is simple, bruh. This is Mark 13:27. And then shall he send his angels. Look how repetitive this is. And shall gather together his elect from the four winds, from the uttermost part of the earth to the uttermost part of heaven. There's more. Tobit 13:3-5. Confess him before the Gentiles, ye children of Israel. See this, the difference? Why would he say Gentiles and then children of Israel? Why? For he hath scattered us among them. Okay. And will scourge us for our iniquities, and will have mercy again, and will gather us out of all nations among whom he hath scattered us. But this right here, we're going to go into this verse and critique it real heavily. Well, not even heavily, but just critique it, period. Confess him before the Gentiles, ye children of Israel. And then he goes to say, I'm going to gather you out of all nations among whom he has scattered us. So, why would he take you from among the Gentiles that he scattered you to? Why didn't it say everyone? Because these men, when they were among the Gentiles, they became Gentiles just like them. But it will be certain men that were scattered abroad that will receive this gospel and this truth. That's why I told you up here to do what? Mark 16:15. And he said unto them, go ye into all the world and preach the gospel, the good news, to every creature. Why? Because it will be confusion of face. It will be Israelites scattered through all out the four corners of the earth. That's why. Okay? So, let me see. I was at Tobit, right? Yeah, okay. So, that's where the Israelites were scattered to. So, we became, everywhere before Yahushua died, we were scattered to, and we became Gentiles. We became heathens. Okay? Because that's all we knew. But that great awakening and shaking had to stir up to where those dry bones lived again. That's why you had epistles by Paul written. Because it had to be sent forth through all these places. Because some people that would get it, just read about Timothy. It would shake up your mind. You know what I'm saying? This truth would shake up your mind. All of a sudden, people get it. And then what was it their job to do? The domino effect. They got it. So now they had to wake up everyone. And these epistles, just like today, dry bones are being awake. They're being wakened up. Okay? Awoke, awake, or however you say it. Okay? And by that happening, what are we doing? We're putting out videos. We're putting out content. What are these things we're doing? They're basically modern day epistles. Now someone can just simply go to, and no one has a fucking excuse. Look how simple the Lord has made this, bruh. You should be doing this work regardless. Look how simple this is. You can simply put up a video and someone in Russia can be watching your video right now. Look how it's going to be no excuses by anyone. The Lord has made this dummy proof, bruh. Okay? But it says, and will gather us out of all nations among whom he has scattered us. Who did he scatter us amongst? Gentiles. Before we came into this truth, what were we considered? Gentiles. We were Israelites. That's why he's saying it like this. Confess him before the Gentiles, ye children of Israel. If the children of Israel are confessing who these people are amongst the Gentiles, that means Israelites must have once been Gentiles, and then he's after the Great Awakening and they understood everything. Now I'm going to take you from among them because you don't belong into them, because your nationality and your heritage is an Israelite. Okay? Got a few more. Jeremiah 23:3. And I will gather the remnant of my flock out of all countries, whither I have driven them, and will bring them again to their folds, and they shall be fruitful and increase. Right. Isaiah 43:6. I will say to the north, give up, and the south, keep not back. Bring my sons from far, and my daughters from the ends of the earth. What the hell do you think this means? That means that these things we're seeing right now further lets us know that it's not going to be nothing after this truth. This is the end. All right? These things are happening. When you got people making videos and commenting from all across the world. I hope this was edifying. I want to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh Bashem Yahushua. Double honor to the apostle, and that was a great millstone. Peace and blessing to y'all. Keep pushing this truth throughout the four winds. Shalom.